Hello, it is June 22nd. Today we are going to do some stuff. So I didn't get much footage last week just because there wasn't much to do, but I've got this new project that I'm thinking about documenting as much as I can. Might not happen, whatever. So here we have our hay bale garden yet again. I'm going to switch things up today in that I'm going to mow first and then I'm going to do pretty much everything else. But I feel, it's probably good to give it a check-in, like I do every other day-ish. Ow, ow. Yeah. I feel like it's kind of mostly the same, That watermelon really wants to get up there, I've noticed. Squash again is just exploding with these flowers. Apparently they're edible if you deep fry them or something. I mean, most things become edible when you deep fry them, so moot point. This pea is doing really well. Part of what I wanted to do today is I want to get like a string going from here to up there or somewhere. I just feel like maybe these cucumbers could use a little more support. They are also doing very well. Tomatoes are keeping on. I'm gonna harvest the lettuce today. It looks like they really got tall all of a sudden. The kale is not yet harvestable yet. I want it to wait till it's about the size of my hand to do it, but it's just not there yet. I'm gonna try to get these pumpkins not growing into everything else and shading them over, so just kind of like, excuse, I'm just gonna lean over that way. This is the Delicia, yeah. I got I don't know if that has a name, like the not quite yet a fruit, but getting there. It's halfway between a flower and a fruit. Well, it's got one of those. So that's good. I should probably look up while I'm working. Oh yeah, I'm also gonna weed. Wow, I'm getting really distracted. I guess one thing I should look up while I'm working is whether of like how many harvests I should expect over the course of the year with this. But that's that. I'm gonna get to work. I'm first. Oh no. Mow first, then everything else. I'm also gonna spray the poison ivy after I mow. Because I figure like if I'm gonna take out some of the poison ivy from mowing, might as well just like not worry about spraying the stuff that's gonna, die. All right, good work. Okay, the mowing's done. So that's good. Now it's on to the other stuff. So in this bucket, I've got some gloves and a bucket for the weeds that I can pick up. And I got the spray for the weeds that I do not want to pick up. Hopefully between the two, I'll be able to get this place in shape. You can also see I've got the twine and the scissors, and those are for upgrading the trellis system. Now I don't know where the twine I was using last time went. Must have put them back in a bad place. But yeah, this whatever I found should be good enough, I think. All right. God, yesterday I think I tripped over something and I didn't think much of it, but today it's like I twanged a muscle and it hurts when I walk. Somehow I was able to do all that mowing though without really bothering me, so who knows. Anyway, to weeding. I think I'll do the weeds I can pick up first, and then I'll go out and spray it. Now this is going to be incredibly not fun to watch, so I will not record much of it because it's just me going around and pulling things up. Also, I have to use gloves just in case there's any nasties on it or poison ivy stuff. Should also put the hose back. I brought that in so I could mow. Well, I did most of the physical weeding. It's not the best, but I hate weeding, and what I also hate are ticks. Like, Jesus Christ, those two make 7 I've seen today. It's never been this bad. But I'm gonna have to get like a professional sprayer or someone to come and just get rid of them, because this is kind of intolerable. It was a freaking miracle that I've only been bitten once. It's a freaking miracle. I gotta be so careful. Should probably take out these guys that are growing out on the top, but I'm gonna go start spraying now. Ah, God, it's incredible. Well, I did mention earlier about how sort of environment change is causing explosions of tick growth, but I think there's also been another cause, and that it's been such a wet, whatchamacallit, spring. I think they like the wet weather, so that hasn't been helping. That's not even poison ivy. I don't care. I want it dead. Alright. I'm gonna reconnect the hose, get the stuff off the side, and then I suppose we'll start working on the trellis, although they just don't want me to be out here, do they? You know, by they I mean the ticks. They're so mean. So mean. Hello! Yeah, so I went ahead and I added some stuff, some more string for our garden. You know, actually when I was doing this, I didn't find any ticks. Like, there was none on my body and none on the plants. So what I'm thinking is that maybe they really like the, oh, I gotta spray that. They like the low down plants. They like hanging down there. So that's good, because maybe that'll encourage them to stop being around. Anyway, yeah, and without the ticks and actually building something, it kind of reminds me of why I made this garden in the first place. Not because I wanted to tear up plants like weeding, which I hate, but because I want to build stuff. I want to create, and I'll be really happy when I start getting some of this fruit and veggies coming in. Speaking of, I missed this. We got some cherry tomatoes growing. Apparently that was a no, that's just a black renaissance. Whoops. But you can see that we're gonna get some first tomatoes. And also this pepper plant is really starting to put some stuff out. I find these peppers just don't think they like the hay bales as much as I've had luck with other plants. Which is interesting. So yeah, basically I'm just doing a lot of horizontal crossbars, and then I'm also trying to get, yeah, see, that's not long enough. I'm also trying to encourage these cucumbers to jump up on it and start the process, you know. Okay. In any case, I'm gonna go grab something to harvest the lettuce in, spray that, and I think there's one other thing I want to work on today. That's not the hay bale garden. So I am here to harvest the lettuce. One thing I did mention though is that I would want to wait till the kale things were about the size of my hand. Now that doesn't mean I can't harvest them now. I can if I want, say, baby kale, which is just younger kale. But I feel like, you know, you gotta go big or go home, you know? So I'm gonna let them grow a little bit more. You've already seen me harvest lettuce before, but I will show you how much I got from this. And they're a lot taller than they were. They used to be very flat. I think it's a result of me harvesting the lower leaves. But yeah, I'll show you what I got after I'm done with this. Alright, so went ahead and harvested what I could. I didn't do that one because I think I cut it back too much last time, so it's I'm just gonna let it recover. I think I got more this time. The leaves were definitely a lot bigger, but yeah, by the way, I don't think I mentioned, but we made a salad out of the stuff I harvested last time, and it was delicious. just pristine. You can't beat fresh vegetables. See, part of the reason why you'd ever want to create a garden like this is just the freshness. It's a lot more efficient because when you get stuff from the grocery store, right, they have to put in like natural or artificial preservatives or something just to keep the things fresh for long, or it tastes awful or the bed goes moldy or whatever. So this, no need for preservatives. So everything is as, you know, clean as it can be. And so it just tastes better, in my opinion, anyway. I just wanted to check in on this delicicata squash. That's nice, thick, and strong. Yeah, it seems like these, like the delicicata, are going to put out a lot more stuff than, say, the pumpkins or the other squash or the watermelon or the lettuce. But, so that's that. Right, I have one more thing to do. So I'm gonna go put this inside so I can wash it later. It's still got the fungus stuff that grows up on top underneath the leaves, but like I learned last time, you can wash it off. It's just fine. Quick side note, I will be turning on the water just for a bit. Not because I necessarily need it, it's been very rainy all week, but mostly because I just harvested the lettuce, and so they'll be a little weaker, so I just want to give them some water. I probably won't run it like 24 hours like I usually do, but I just want to kind of keep them happy. So the last thing I want to work on as my dad vacuums the car is the raspberries, as you can tell. So it's looking like I don't think the raspberries are going to get any taller than this, and I mentioned before how I didn't take up the ferns because I thought they would just grow over, but since they're not going to grow any taller, I think I should probably take out the ferns just for the health of the plants. Now I will need gloves for this because raspberries have thorns, and thorns are painful. Even though I'm helping them, that's just how life is. So I'm gonna see how much I can tear out of this. There's some more raspberries up there which I'll be tearing up, but hopefully this will service them well. Alright, so I didn't do the most perfect job, let's be honest here. Ooh, a bumblebee just came to pollinate the flowers. But, well, here's the thing, is you can never really win against ferns. So this seems to just be the main battlefield where the ferns and the raspberries seem evenly matched, so I'm giving the raspberries advantage. And even though there's ferns up there, like I said, there's a downside to having that kind of spread out root structure, and that when it gets really rocky like there, it's hard for the ferns to come up. So it looks like most of the raspberries have already kind of gotten high enough and started shading over some of the ferns, sorry. Other than that, I did pull out just a little bit more over here. You can see right here, let's focus the camera. So let's focus the camera, I said. We got a bit of proto-raspberry. So that's good. I might want to... Whoa, look at that bug. This is a cool bug. I think it's a grasshopper or cricket or something. But I might want to pull out some of them right here. Yeah, but I think I'm done for today. I did some good work. Good work indeed. The only thing is I'll probably refocus. I'll probably take care of turning off the water closer to the end of the day. Just, you know, do a quick jog outside and turn that off, and I shouldn't need to be very careful. Oh, I stepped on this sear mushroom. What a pity. It's good to have decomposers in the ecosystem. In case you didn't know, that's just the fruiting body of the fungus. The real fungus is just all over underground. That's just what it uses to spread its spores, you know, reproduce. I also have this berry plant, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. There is a lot of these kinds of berry producing plants that grow in acidic soil, you know, where we've got lots of rock and stone in New England. Definitely not edible, but I'd be curious to know what these are if anyone does know. You know, I could probably just ask somebody else who I know who is good at gardening, and they could give me an answer. So I'm gonna dispose of these ferns, and then oh yeah, I have to watch the lettuce, and I'll be able to tell how much I got. Okay, so I found this better scale to use. I also dried the stuff, so it should be slightly better because I'm not measuring up all the way to the water, but yep, get in there. 125 grams, so that's definitely I got more than I got last time. I'm so happy I found the scale. That's really easy to just zero out and then measure. So, I think that's all for today. I'm gonna have this as salad for dinner. Signing off. Plot twist, it's still not the end. So even though I've gone inside and kind of cleaned up, we went out today. We got some of the tick control tubes. Now the way they work is they're just covered in like little cloth that have been soaked in pesticides. And the idea is that mice will come and grab the cloth out and use them in their bedding. So it takes care of the ticks there. So I'm gonna be placing these around the yard. Yeah, that's like a good place. And hopefully, you know, they'll help with the ticks. See, the problem is the hay bale garden is specifically designed to keep mice out. So unless the ticks go outside and then get caught by what? Wow, I lost my train of thought. So unless the ticks go outside and get on the mice, it's not really going to do anything directly. But the nice part about this is that this does not involve our vegetables in any way. So, plot twist, I'm actually not done today. We went out and we got some tick control tubes. Basically, the way they work is that we got these tubes and they're full of cloth. Now, this cloth has been soaked in insecticide. So what will happen is mice will come along and be like, oh hey, there's just some cloth. We can use this for nice comfortable bedding. And since mice are an important cycle of getting ticks, ticks will be killed. That's actually really bad. I shouldn't have done that. Oops, camera's upside down. Yep, and so that will kill the ticks, and then they won't be in our garden anymore. Now, it won't, on the one hand, that won't affect any of the ticks that are inside because the enclosure is designed to keep them out. But what it will do is, if the ticks do go out, then they'll be caught by the mice and be brought inside. So this is more of a long-term solution to the problem. So, I'm just gonna go out and distribute all these, and then hopefully we'll start to see a lot less ticks in the future. Because Jesus Christ, it's been bad this year. Alright, signing off. I can't say I'm placing them with particular care. I just saw a gardener. I just saw a snake crawl away right here, so that's a good sign. Definitely put a tick tube over there. You can see it. Pumpkin's still being munched on, but yeah, I'm not gonna stop them. I don't really care. They've always been sort of ancillary to the main plan. So if we need extra sugar pumpkins, I mean, we'll grow. So it is June 24th. It's been a few days, and poison ivy seems to have gone down quite a bit, so I'm happy about that. Weeds are sprouting up again, which is nice, especially since I had that theory that it was encouraging the ticks. I'll actually have to check up on that, whatchamacallit, the tick tube over there. Anyway, today we're just doing a bit of a check, you know. Whoa, you got things hatching out there. I'm gonna have to remove that. And we got more tomatoes growing, as you can see, so good tidings on that. But one thing we are going to do is, that pea plant is like dead. Like it's not going to do anything. And the rest of the pea plants don't look too good. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is replacing them with some GIF seedlings we have. So we have a cucumber and a mystery tomato. Don't know if I'm going to be able to make the mystery tomato. These things are marigolds, and I'm just going to kind of insert them to try to encourage any kind of whatchamacallits, beneficials? Like they attract beneficials. This is also starting to become a problem, and the pumpkin is getting up in the kale's business. So I'd really like it if it would stop doing that. Oh, peppers are blooming, that's good. Okay, so pest removal, then plant, and we're good. Alright, so I removed the infected leaves from that one tomato plant that's always been having issues. Now I'm just gonna try to remove this dead pea plant. It's a pity. This one seems to be doing just fine. I'm wondering if it's the influence of the cucumbers, like maybe they just don't like this much sun. Yeah, I don't have hope for that one, but it's still alive. So is that one. So at the very least, we will have one surviving pea plant, assuming I hadn't jinxed it and something terrible is going to happen. So I'm going to remove what's left of that. I can really smell this thing decomposing, which is great. Oh, that thing's tied off. I don't have any scissors. I'm going to have to go out and grab some scissors, because... Oh wait, no, that's not a zip tie. This might be a... Okay, oh, there. It's off now. And I can use that to connect it up to the Trellis system. I'm going to do this with 2 hands, so cutting video. We had actually watered it beforehand, so I just I opened up the hole and then kind of slammed it in, and it just formed itself. I used the tie to get it attached to the Trellis system, so that's good. Next, of course, is the marigolds, and I could probably, considering these peat plants are maybe about to die, I could put a tomato plant there, because it'll still be in the main cage, and then it might live, it might not. Who knows? It's I don't know how these cucumbers are gonna get, but I'm gonna assume they'll probably be pretty strong. Now, here's another thing I just noticed is that this tomato plant is leaning over because it happens to be leaning in the one direction. I don't have any support. So I might want to maybe in a bit get like some cross string so it doesn't fall as much. In the meantime, I can kind of try to get it to lean on what string I already have, although I think that's just unlucky. But the rest of the plants seem to be threading quite nicely. Aside from this guy, he won't bother the lettuce too much. Also, I'm realizing the kale's really exploding about now, so I should so maybe next week harvest. I don't know. That seems like a good idea. Anyway, gotten off track, so I'm gonna see about planting that tomato there, and then marigolds. I'm probably gonna try to stick maybe like one right here. Down. You can tell I'm wearing gardening shoes because it's professionally done gardening shoes, you know. Just got back from work. Well, that's a hole. Anyway, I'm gonna go plant some stuff. Oh, this guy's having trouble getting out. Come on. I believe in you. Oh, I'm not gonna bother him. So it turns out that marigolds were kind of inseparable, so I put one on this end and then one over here, so that'll hopefully encourage some stuff to come and eat like the Mexican potato things. Beetles, that's what they're called. I still try to get this thing up, but it just really wants to stay down. I'm just trying to, oh, hold on. Might be able to leverage this on. That might get it to stay up. I don't know. I tried that. I think I basically did that exact same thing on Saturday, and it really didn't change anything. Oh, and there's the tomato. Honestly, after these things start decomposing, they're a lot easier to manipulate because they start as hay bales and they're basically turning to dirt / compost. So they're a little more malleable as of now. Anyway, on my way out, I'm going to turn on the water just because, like how I turned on the water after I harvested the lettuce, is that after transplantation, it's always good to encourage the roots to kind of expand out and grow, you know. So that's that. I'm going to sign off today, and well, either see you tomorrow or Wednesday at the very least. So it's June 25th. I'm not sure if you can tell, but it's like drizzling, so I'm going to turn off the water. We're not going over there. There's no reason. I'm just going to turn off the water. And that's it. Goodbye. Well, glad I turned off the water. Sure is raining. It is Wednesday, June 26th. I messed up. Poison ivy's coming back. That's fun. I checked on the tick tube and it didn't look like anything had been taken, but like I put a lot of it down, and that's probably not the best place to put it. That's the only one I checked, and I really don't feel like checking all the other ones. But I just wanted to take a look at the new plants that I planted. So, watermelon looks fine. I want to get it down there instead of on the whatchamacallits, the netting. Same here. Just leave that space for the cantaloupe. I wonder if that's gonna climb. I'm actually gonna leave that at least. So I want to see if it goes up. You know, squash and cantaloupe and everything in that family doesn't tend to climb as far as I recall. It spreads out more on the ground, but who knows? This is getting huge. And that's good. I wonder how big it's gonna get. So that's that. And the marigolds seem to be setting in. And that pepper's still... Okay, so I'm not sure if it's just that peppers don't like this area, or if peppers, I don't know, in general just seem to not really care that much. Okay, that pepper is going to get completely shaded out soon by this pumpkin. I was not intending that, and that is starting to become a real problem. I mean, you see that every day I come out here, I push the pumpkins back because I'm like, stop that, and then they just fold back. I think that's because south is kind of that way-ish, so they're like, I want to get to the sun. We actually got a pepper here for the first time. That should be okay because I don't think the pumpkins are going to get much taller than they are now. So that's good. Squash is still growing over there. Kale will be harvested this weekend. I can't imagine why. And I'll probably do another lettuce harvest soon because these are also growing quite big. You can really tell when the roots get established because they're just like... Whoop. Also, I'd love to... I need to look back at some of the old videos and just see how much these tomatoes have grown in height. Because that's crazy. I think I pointed that one tomato out already. So I'm not going to do that again. Oh, I just did. Cucumbers still going. That cucumber that I planted yesterday is blooming. It wasn't blooming when I got it. So that's good. This pea plant is dying. But, you know, whatever. I don't think I'm going to get very many peas this year. And then the cucumber didn't stay. So that's that, I guess. I'll try to... Next time I get out, I think I'll grab some string and try to let that stay up. Well, I'm not really gonna do anything today. I was just here to check in. So it is June. Crap, I'm holding it with my left hand, so I can't check my watch. It is June 27th. So it's a really nice day out, and I am here to fix some stuff. So I got my string and scissors. I would have picked some more appropriate scissors, but hey, hold on, I just checked on the pumpkin. They seem to be doing well, despite being eaten every now and then. Yeah, I would have picked better scissors, but that was the only one that was down there, and I didn't feel like going upstairs. So, right, the three things that I want to do is first encourage the big cucumbers to stay up. Second of all, get some cross supports so the tomato quote-unquote cage works a little better, because that's a problem. And then thirdly, oh, it's an earwig. I hate earwigs. I'll eat my plants. Thirdly is try to encourage the pumpkins on that end to stop shading out the peppers. Peppers, those are a word. There's a bumblebee here to pollinate my flowers, except it's now having trouble leaving because netting. I believe in you. You can make it. Oh, there you go. Alright, I'm gonna go work. Alright, so there's my bodge solution. Oh, that's terrible. I'm not very convinced that this is gonna work because, again, they want to point towards the sun. That's actually southwest, not west, but you can see it's probably where they get most of their sun, so it's gonna grow that way. I don't even know if, like, that one's okay because the pepper plant immediately next to it is tall enough that it's not really gonna affect it too badly, but like, once it grows bigger, they're gonna spread out quite a bit, and I don't think that's gonna be viable. Oh well. I built this part of the tomato cage, so this guy's being held up through that curved string. You can see it's really trying to lean on it, but hopefully that protects it. I've noticed a lot more tomatoes are growing. So for example, I think that's a cherry tomato. And then we also got another one of these guys growing directly on top of the other one. So that's good. Lettuce harvest this weekend, probably some kale chips this weekend, you know, the huge. Is that another pepper? Nope. Yes, there is. So we got a pepper there, and we got a pepper there. I'll have to go on the other side. Okay, so that's a rich Macedonian, and then I'm going to go over to the other side to figure out what that is. And this is a Cupid. So we got a Cupid there. These are, the Carmens are not quite coming out yet. But that's that. Because part of the reason why I want to know their breed is because I want to see like when I should harvest. Because I know, we mentioned before how my dad has a, a pepper box, and he harvested one of his when it was still green. So I'm not entirely convinced that, oh, it's getting so big. So I'm not entirely convinced that redness is a metric of readiness. Also, cucumbers coming in. There's just everything's coming in. And I also tied this cucumber up to the trellis to hopefully get it to climb a bit. Watermelon's doing good too. Cantaloupe is still not dead. Again, that's climbing the netting, and I think that's okay. Like, I'm not going to try to stop it or anything. Okay, last thing, I just wanted to check up on that breed, get it on camera so I know what to check in with it tomorrow or whatever. So this one is a lunchbox red. I don't think that's a hot pepper. Does this say, okay, I don't know what that is. Delicicata. Okay. Well, I've been rambling for a while. Anything else I need to... That could become a problem later, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. He says while fixing it. Alright, setting off. I should also mention that I was working with the tomatoes, and my hands just smell totally like the kind of deadly nightshade, and I love that smell. I love smell of freshly growing like fruit and vegetable plants. It's just absolutely delectable. It sounds weird, but I do enjoy it. I'm gonna turn on the water just a bit because I don't think it's gonna rain today or tomorrow. I want to keep that a good soak. Also, Rabbit. He's always there every morning. Well, it's afternoon now, but he's also here in the afternoon. Signing off. Today is June 28th. It's gonna be July soon. I don't really have any plans for this checkup. I just, well, aside from being at a checkup, I just want to see if the sort of bodge I did to the pumpkins stuck, and then I suppose also the cucumbers. But hopefully things are okay. I also constantly have to check for vermin. Now that the tomatoes are really coming in, that's going to be a huge draw for those chipmunks who don't really get much water from elsewhere. So that's that. And that poison ivy is coming up again. I think that's more this time. They seem to be focusing on this area. I'm wondering if it's corresponding to the times when I start watering. Here. There's a little bit of it coming right up in front of the door. That's not acceptable. Unacceptable. Oh, wow. I can't believe how big this thing's getting. No flowers on the watermelon yet. I'm gonna let the cantaloupe do its thing. It might eventually get to the point where I'm gonna have to do some extra staples up top in order to make sure it doesn't like pull the whole thing down. I'm really surprised. Like, I thought the cantaloupe were like done for earlier, and they seem to have taken up okay. So cucumbers are sticking up there. You can see that this guy put out a vine since I last came here, and just wrapped it around that center bit. See, what will happen is these, yeah, and see, look how it's already coming up. See, what will happen is they'll stick out the vines, and then they'll twirl it around in a circle like this, and grow it taller and taller. And then when it catches, it'll just wrap. That's really cool. If you ever have a chance to see like a time lapse of that happening, definitely go for it. I just noticed that down there we've got a bit of cucumber that seems to have infiltrated the tomatoes and even latched onto one of them. I hope that's okay. I hope it doesn't end badly. It looks like that tomato plant's getting infested again. I'll probably have to pull that leaf. Other than that, this is holding just fine. You can see that this branch has reached across, so that's going to hold it for probably a further growth. And little dragonfly having problems. This has been a partial success. Look how big that leaf is. Yeah, it's definitely not direct. You can see that the bottom part has been pulled over, but the top part just is kind of like straightening out. It worked well enough that I'm just gonna leave it. I didn't actually end up looking when to harvest this guy, but presumably at some point. No, that's that smells like a pepper. And then you got these little, what are they called, mini bells, right? Cupids. Not the same thing. No red or yellowing tomatoes, which has already been established. So we've got a total of 3 squash things starting to really grow there. So that's good. We got 2 here as of now. We've got only 1 on that one. Maybe 2. No, there's only 1. And then we get like 4 or 5 on that guy. Oh, it's gonna be so bountiful when this and it starts to really like take off. And then here we have one rotted off, 2, and then this one I was just got the one. That one's really young. It's not gonna put out anything for a while. Well, I think that's it for today. Just gonna pull off that one infected leaf over here, and then I'm gonna call it. Signing off. So here's where the pumpkins used to be. You may notice that there is significantly less leaves on it than there were yesterday. That's probably the groundhog or something. I am so glad I have an enclosure. I realize I haven't talked about the pears in a while, but you can really see that. That is most certainly, come on camera, focus. Focus. That is most certainly a pear.